Since it's Christmas time, I have got something a little bit special for you. It's a twist on the 12 days of Christmas. Today, I am going to be sharing 12 things that you didn't know you could do on Instagram that will help you save time and simplify marketing your business on social media. These are all tools and features you can start using today to show up in a smarter, more creative way without overloading your to-do list. And who doesn't want that? But before we dive in, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to tune in, to show up and be heard. I really appreciate you, and I am so grateful you are here, whether it's for the first time or you've listened to every single episode. This podcast exists to help women like you simplify your business and your life so that you can stop feeling so overwhelmed. I am your host, Becci McAvoy, owner and founder of Be Head Socials, and I am an award-winning social media marketer who runs the award-winning Boss Your Socials Club, the must-have social media membership for women-owned businesses, and it offers you monthly content plans, templates, training, accountability, and a supportive community for women-owned businesses. And it's not just any community, it has recently won Female-Led Community of the Year for 2024. So if you want to cut through the noise and BS and get practical, actionable advice tailored specifically to make social media marketing accessible and easy to understand, or if you want to be part of a supportive community where women entrepreneurs can feel connected and inspired to achieve their dreams, then keep listening because you are in the right place. To be the first to find out when new episodes go live and to get more tips like the ones you hear in this podcast, make sure you join my email community through the link in the show notes. Right then, let's get started with this week's episode. I have changed up the flow of the podcast a little bit this month because it's December. And let's be honest, it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also the busiest and we are all low on time. So I wanted to make them perfect for squeezing in around all of the festive chaos. So instead of the mix of solos and interviews that you are used to, these will all be short, solo, bite-sized episodes throughout this month. And in that spirit, I'm going to make them short and bite-sized. And we know I like to chat if you've been here a while. If you're not, that is who I am. But today I'm going to dive straight into juicy stuff. I'm just going to get through all of the things that you might not know, or the 12 things that I've got to share with you today that you might not know you can do on Instagram, so that you can listen and then get on with your day and get on with your busy Christmas to-do list and enjoy some of the festive fun. So I'm going to start off with the first thing that you might not know you can do on Instagram, but you definitely should know because it can save you time and make your life easier, reduce the overwhelm and take that stress away. So the first thing is, did you know that you can delete a single slide from a carousel post after it has been posted? So have you ever posted a carousel, which is a multiple image post, and then realized that you included the wrong image or something shouldn't have been in there? Or I don't know, there's a typo in a slide, but you just like to take it out because it doesn't necessarily affect the flow of the rest of the carousel, which, like I said, is a multiple image post. Well, like I said, you can delete a single slide from a carousel post, which you never used to be able to do. So that's amazing. You don't need to worry. You can edit the post and delete just that one slide. So here is how you do it. You tap the three dots on your post. It's in the top right corner and you hit the edit button. You find the image you want to remove. So you just slide through the post, and at the top of the, I think it's at the top, I'm fairly certain it's at the top of the image, you'll see like a little trash can icon. Click on that and it will delete the post for you, or it will delete the slide for you without having to delete the whole post. And this might not sound exciting if you've never needed to delete a slide, but like I said, you didn't used to be able to do this, and it was a game changer when it came in. I love it. I still love it. If you've ever posted a duplicate or simply changed your mind about one of the images, you can now delete it, which is absolutely amazing. It's been in a while, but there's still lots of people who don't know about it, so I wanted to share it with you today. And also, if you're listening Instagram, it would be ace if you could also let us add a slide that we've missed without having to completely re-upload the slide or notice a typo on so that we can just change it. You can't do that yet, but that's on my dreams for 2025. Hopefully, we'll see that as a new feature in the new year. Okay, number 2 of things you might not know you can do. You can search your messages within individual DMs. So have you ever spent ages scrolling through a DM trying to find an old message from somebody? Well, like a good news, you can now search for an individual chat. So not just in the main, like when you go into your inbox and you can see all the people that have messaged you. You've been able to search in that for a while, but that was mostly for names. You can search within individual chats. I think this has been in for quite a while, but I discovered it by happy accident a few months ago, and it was amazing, because I'm constantly trying to scroll through things through DMs that I found, and trying to find a message, that I want to go back to. So to do this, all you have to do is go into the individual message. If you know you've sent someone a message that you're looking for, say, for example, it was me, you'd open up the messages to me, tap my name at the top of the screen. So it will come up saying my name at the top of the screen, tap on that. And then it will come up with a list of options. And one of them is the little search option, like the magnifying glass. So tap on that and tap the word you're looking for. So if you know that you said a certain word in that message, you can search for that and it will highlight all of the messages that have that word in. So obviously you want to try and make it something quite specific, not a word that you say all the time. Otherwise you're still going to be scrolling through messages. But say, for example, you know that you've sent me, for example, a message where you've said a very specific thing. You can search within that message and it will find it for you much, much quicker. It's a real time saver and a lifesaver when you're really busy and you just want to find the message. So yeah, that's another brilliant thing that you might not know you can do on Instagram, that can really help make it easier, reduce your stress, and save you time, which is all the things we want. Okay, let's move on to number three. Number three, in what you might not know that you can do on Instagram, but that's really helpful, is you can tag someone in a story after you've posted it. Now, there's a bit of a theme to these first few, where I'm saying you can do things after you've posted a carousel or sent the message or posted your story, because I don't know if you're anything like me and you post it and you're like, oh, you've put a lot of effort in and then you need to delete, or you might have already got engagement on something where it's in the case of posts and you don't want to delete it, and you just wish that you'd remember to tag someone in it, or you hadn't made that mistake in the carousel. Well, this is another game changer with the stories. So you don't have to worry that you haven't tagged the person in the story, because if you do it, if you post a story and you forget to tag someone in it, you don't need to delete it and start again. You can just mention them afterwards and add their tag in afterwards. All you have to do is go back to the story, tap more in the bottom right hand corner, tap on add mentions, and then search for the person that you want to add and add that tag. The only thing that is a little bit annoying about this, but not the end of the world, is that if you had tagged them in the original story, basically it will be hidden. So they will get notified that they have been tagged in a story and they will still be able to share it, but it won't necessarily share their name on the screen. So where you can use the @ sticker and it would show their name on the screen, or you could use a text and type the @ and tag them in and it would show them on the screen. It won't show them on your story. But like I said, it's not the end of the world, because you still get to add them in, and they can still share that story, which is the really important part for you, because tagging other accounts and stories is a great way to increase your reach, because obviously, like I said, it allows them to share your story to their audience too, and puts you in front of their audience. The only thing I want to say on this though is make sure if you are tagging someone, then it's relevant, because no one wants you to spam them. So whilst it is a great way to increase your reach, you want to be strategic with it and you want to make it relevant. People aren't going to share your story if it's got absolutely no value to their audience, or if it's not something that is relevant to their account and things like that. So just make sure if you're tagging someone, it's relevant. But it is a brilliant way that if you've forgotten to tag someone, you can add them in afterwards. So that is number three. Okay, number four. I am rattling through these because, like I said, I want to make these short, sweet episodes so that you can carry on with your to-do list or your festive fun. So number four, you can add a countdown before recording a story. So it gives you a bit of a chance to set yourself up and you don't go straight into recording. Now, I love a talkie story. You will know that if you follow me on Instagram and you watch my stories. And by talkie story, I just mean me talking to my phone, but it's actually talking to my audience and to my followers, because it gets posted to my stories and they can then watch it. But it's really hard to press record and to start talking straight off the bat. So if you want to give yourself a few seconds to get ready, just choose the hands-free option. And to do this, you need to, down one side of your screen, it depends how your settings are, you'll have a list of options of different things that you can do with your story. And one of those will be hands-free. This doesn't always show in the top stories. So if it hasn't shown, there's a little arrow at the bottom of that list. Tap that arrow and it will give you more options. And it'll be really obvious which one the hands-free option is. So yeah, tap that arrow from the menu. On my stories, it's on the left-hand side. So when I open up, my screen to record a story, on the left-hand side, I have a menu of different things that I can do. But depending on what your settings are, it might show somewhere differently on your screen. Either way, there will be a menu. So go to that. Like I said, if you can't see it on there, tap the bottom arrow from the menu and select the hands-free option. And then when you've done that, it will change. So at the bottom of your story, you'll have the little record button. And instead of tapping on that and starting, what you'll be able to do is hold that button down for a few seconds and a little countdown will come up. Now, it's only 3 seconds, but it just gives you a few seconds to sort yourself out and to prep yourself and to make sure you have a lovely smile on your face before it starts recording. Or if you're anything like me, you flick your hair around and get it comfortable, or maybe you move where your t-shirt is or whatever, but it just gives you those few seconds to prep yourself. And it means that when someone starts watching your story, they're not literally seeing you press your story and come away again. They see you sort of ready to go. So adding a countdown before doing a talkie story is a talkie story, like I said, talking to the camera, is a really great way to just give you a little bit of time to prep yourself. And I absolutely love doing this because, like I said, generally for me, it's flicking my hair around, but it just helps me get into position and get ready to go. So yeah, that is number 4. Right, number 5, practice going live without an audience. Now, have you ever wanted to go live on Instagram, or know that you need to go live on Instagram, but you're just so nervous that you will mess it all up and you will be live? Well, then you will be pleased to know that you can go into your settings on your live and change the audience to practice, which will quite literally let you practice the process of going live without anyone actually watching you. So to do this, you just need to tap the create button at the top of your profile page, which will open up a list of different things that you can create, whether it's a post or a story or a live. And in this instance, what you'll want to be choosing is live, and it will open up a screen ready for you to go live. And at the top of that screen, it will be default set. There'll be a little, at the very top of the screen, there'll be a little sentence saying share with everyone. And that means that when you tap the go live button, it will give you a bit of a countdown into going live. But when you go live, it will be shared with everyone. Now, in this instance, this is what we don't want to do if you want to practice. So just tap on that and it will bring up a list of options. And one of those options is practice mode. So you can change it to practice mode. And ta-da, you will get a feel for how everything works. You can go into practice mode, see how it works, see what a live's going to look like, know what to expect without worrying about anyone watching. Now, you don't need to do this because honestly, once you go live, like you, it's great, and you can settle into the flow of it, and nothing disastrous is really going to happen. And if it does, you can just come off that live and not save it to your grid afterwards. However, if you do just want to, if you're the kind of person who wants to know what things are going to look like and all that stuff, this practice option is a really good way to do that, and to make yourself a bit more comfortable with the process before you actually go live to a whole audience. So yeah, let me know if you try this, because I would really love to know. I love it when I see people stepping out their comfort zone and going live. So let me know if you do this. Right, that is number 5. So I'm moving on to number 6. We are halfway through. You can add a cover image to reels or lives after you have posted. So this is another one that you can do after you've, like maybe if you've forgotten to do something, or after the post has gone live and it's out there to the world. So you can add a cover image to your reels or your lives after you have posted it. So if you've forgotten to add a cover image, no problem. You can edit it after you have published it. So the cover image is just on a reel or a live, they're videos. So often you will see like it will just be your face, or it will be a thumbnail of the video. But you can create thumbnails, you can create cover images in something like Canva or Adobe or whatever you use, so that when it shows on your grid, for example, you might want to add some words over it. And basically it just means that when it's on your grid and people are looking at that post, that's what they see. They don't necessarily see a thumbnail of the video. So to do this, you just go to your reel or your live or whatever you've posted, tap on the edit button. So the three dots at the top of the post, tap on edit, and then choose to add a cover. You'll see it when you go in there and you can add a cover. And then you can upload your image. You want to make sure it's in 1080 by 1920 size pixels, but that basically is the size you want to make it in Canva or Adobe or wherever you make it, because that is the size of how the reel and the live shows up. Covers are really great because they can make your feed look more polished. Like I said, you can add titles to them or whatever, but they also help your audience or anyone who's coming to view your profile instantly understand what that content is going to be about. And I really love this because it allows you to change up your feed if you want to, or add a cover to explain what the reel or the live is about. If you forgot to do it when you're posting it, or if you just want to change it up. So if you want to go and check this out, most of my reels and lives have covers. So go and have a look, and you'll see what that looks like on my feed. So that's another really good one. Right, okay, number 7. And I love this one because this is one that lots of people don't know. So did you know that each post has its own QR code, unique to the post that you have posted? So to find it, all you need to do is go to the post settings and you will see a QR code option. And this is brilliant for marketing materials, or if you're out and about networking or at an event, and you want to be able to quickly direct people to a specific post, so you can use it there. And like I said, in those design tools, like I mentioned earlier, Canva or Adobe or whatever you use, you can definitely do it in Canva. And I'm presuming you'll be able to do it in the main ones. I just use Canva, so I know that. You can create QR codes in there. And like I said, it can be really great for your marketing materials. So that's quite a nice one. You might not use that often, but it's really great to know if you need it. Or you could include it in a presentation. If you're delivering a presentation to somebody, you can add a QR code, and they can go and find a very specific post, because each post has its own unique QR code. That was number 7. All right, number 8. Did you know you can turn live photos into boomerangs? So boomerangs, if you don't know, are just a bit of a funky visual. So instead of having a photo, you can record it. So say, for example, someone's starting to do a dance move, you see them do a little bit of that dance move rather than just having a photo of it. And you can record that directly in Instagram. So you can actually choose to record a boomerang. You can actively do that. But if you have live photos on your phone, you can also turn those into boomerangs, because obviously live photos are like little videos, because it captures a few seconds of the photo that you are taking and then gives you the main image. So if you have live photos saved on your phone, and you just want to, this is quite a nice way to just make it a little bit more fun, or change up what you're doing rather than posting a series of photos. You can just try some different visual things. All you need to do is go into your open up your stories, and choose the live photo that you want. That will come up on the screen, and it will come up as a still image, which is the main image for that live photo. Hold down on that photo and it will convert it into a boomerang automatically. And like I said, you can just change up your stories and make it a little bit more fun. So it's just a nice thing to do, that you might want to try. Okay, number 9, you can use your insights to find your best performing content. So Instagram insights can be brilliant for understanding what works. And if you're wanting to repurpose content, it can be brilliant for finding content that has worked well in the past, that you can just post again and save yourself time. So basically you can go in there and you can choose how far you want it to go back. So it can look at the last 30 days, the last 3 months. I can't remember exactly what the options are, but you can go right back as far as the last 2 years worth of posts. And you can then filter it down to posts that got the most reach or the most engagement. And within those, you can also filter it down to posts that have got the most likes, the most saves, mind went blank then. I was going to say the most shares. I'm not entirely certain you can see the most shares, but Instagram has changed that now, actually, so that you can see how many people have shared it on the grid afterwards. But either way, there's different things, how many people followed you off of a post, all that kind of stuff. So all the different engagement metrics, you can filter it down specifically to that. So say, for example, you want to do a value adding post, and you can go into your content and go, right, I'm going to look at how many people's or the posts that got the most saves, and you can repurpose that because people obviously found that useful because they chose to save it. So you want to look at metrics like saves and shares for value driven posts, or you can also you can filter it down to people that went off onto, so you can do this with stories as well. If you've included links in stories, you can filter it down to the stories that generated the most clicks, which is really great because that's where you've used a link sticker and you've directed them to somewhere else you want them to go. So you can use this to refine your strategy. It's not about guessing, it's about seeing what your audience loves and saving yourself time in repurposing that content. So to go to your insights, you just go onto your profile page. And if you're a business account, you'll see the professional dashboard. And when you open that up, it will open up your insights. So I just suggest going and having a look at that and having an explore around, because there's so much information in there that you can use to see what's working and to make sure your content is on the right track. Okay, so that was number 9. Number 10, you can edit your captions on Instagram stories. So captions are brilliant for many reasons. Absolutely number 1 for accessibility for people. It's brilliant to add captions to any talking videos that you have. But also lots of people watch on mute. So it's great to have captions so people can read along with what you're saying. It just makes all of your content more accessible. So to add captions to your stories, what you do is you do your talking story or you add your talking video, swipe up, and there's a captions, swipe up on the story, on the video within the stories, and you'll see a whole list of stickers. One of those will be the caption sticker. When you tap on that, it will bring it through to your main Instagram story and it will automatically translate what you're saying. But obviously, it might spell some words wrong. My name is always spelt wrong because my name is spelt Becci, and that is not the common way to spell Becky. And I obviously want my name spelled properly. Also, I speak quite fast, as you will know if you listen to this podcast. And when I say Boss Your Socials Club, the Instagram captions always changes it to Bossy Socials Club. And obviously I want it to say Boss Your Socials Club. So you can basically click the caption sticker to get it on your stories, let it auto translate. And when it's done that, tap on the captions that are on your screen and it will open up basically a list of words. It will open up the transcript, is the word I'm looking for, of your caption, and you can scroll through that and change any words you want to the correct spelling. I wouldn't necessarily, if it's obvious what you've said, I wouldn't worry about spending loads of time on this. No one minds typo if they can still understand what you've said. But if there are words you want to be spelled properly, for example, with me, it's my name and it's Boss Your Socials Club, then I want to edit those captions, and that's how you can do that. So that's really great as well. Right, number 11, you can save responses for DMs. So if you answer the same questions like what are your prices, or how do I book with you, or just a frequently asked question that you get asked a lot in your DM, you can use Instagram's save reply feature to save yourself time having to type it out every time or having to go and find it and copy and paste it from somewhere. So here's how you do it. You go to your settings, your main settings on your Instagram profile, go to business tools and controls, and then tap on saved replies. And once you're in the save replies, tap the plus button to create templates for your common queries. You'll be asked to write a shortcut, which is basically a word you want to use to activate the save message when you go to use it. So you write the shortcut. So for example, if you were answering the question, what are your prices? Your shortcut word could be pricing. You type that word in, and then you can add your message however you want it worded. You can do it in your tone of voice, your brand voice, all that kind of stuff. And once you've written out your message and your shortcut, you can hit save and it is saved for you. Once you've done that, here is how to use it within the messages. You go to your DMs and open a conversation. So say, for example, I have asked you what your pricing is. You open up the messaging with me, the message with me, you go into the DM to me, type the shortcut word you created, which in this case, we said pricing. So you just type the word pricing and a little speech bubble will pop up to the right. It's like a little blue speech bubble. That's what it is on mine. Maybe it'll be a different color on yours because Instagram likes to make things confusing. But it's a little speech bubble. Tap on that and the full message will be pasted into the message box. So whatever you said to say, hi, thanks for inquiring about my prices. Here's a bit of information about them. All you've had to do is write pricing and tap on the speech bubble and it will be copied into the box and you can send it. You can also save a message that you've previously sent as a quick reply. So if you've already sent a message and gone, oh, this would be really good to have as a save reply, actually, tap on that message and hold it down. Choose the save quick reply and go through the process that I've just explained to save it. create the shortcut and tap the check mark to save it as before. And you can then use that reply in the future as well. So just a nice way to save yourself time. Okay, so that was number 11, wasn't it? So we are on the final one, number 12. You can use the comments that people leave you to boost your reach and get more out of one piece of content and really make the most of the content you're posting, which is great because you have worked hard to create that post and you work hard, or that content, and you work hard to get comments on it. So make the most of it and maximize it. So you can turn comments into more content and better reach by I was deciding which one I was going to start with there. I am going to start with if people leave comments on your post, you can hold down on that comment and it will give you an option to add it to your story. And what that will do is share your post to the story alongside the person's comment. That's really good if someone has said something really nice or someone has said, oh my goodness, this is so helpful. Thank you. This is a great reminder. Thank you. And it will encourage the people who are watching your stories to see that and go, oh, I wonder what that is, and go and check it out. So not only has the post gone onto your feed and people will have had the chance to see it and comment on it, you can boost that reach by adding people's comments to your stories and encouraging people, showing people the value of it, and or showing off and showing that you're brilliant at doing something. And it's just a bit more of an engaging way to encourage people to go from your story to your post and get more engagement on it. So yeah, it's just a really nice way. So you can do it, for example, if you've posted it and you share it to your stories, because that's your post of the day. And it's really great to share that to stories so people see it, because in itself, that is a great way to boost the reach. You can share it on another day when people start to add comments to boost that reach again, and really showcase why that post is brilliant. Or like I said, if I've posted something about Boss Your Socials Club and somebody comments on it who's one of my members and said, oh my God, this membership is brilliant, everybody has to join, I could tap on that, add that to my story, and it would go alongside the post and encourage people to go check out the post to get more reach on it and more engagement on it. And like I said, we have worked hard on those posts, so we should really maximize as much as we can get out of it. So another thing that you can do to turn your comments into more content and better reach is if someone asks a great question or leaves a thoughtful comment on your post, you can reply with a reel. So you can create another piece of content. So like I said, if someone asks a question, you can answer it as a post and it will show that you're doing that because someone has asked a question, like the little question will pop up in the video. Or someone could share an opinion on something and you can give your thoughts on it that go deeper than just you replying to the comment. You still want to keep those reels quite short, like sort of 60 to 90 seconds at a maximum to keep people's interest. But obviously reels are a great way to boost your reach. And if you're comfortable doing them, if somebody does add a comment, you can reply to it with a reel is a really great way to do that. So like I said, we work hard on our content. So we want to get as much reach and engagement out of it as possible. And what you don't want is putting a post out there, you get tumbleweeds, you get frustrated. Actually just go back to that post and see about different ways that you can use it and different ways that you can optimize it to get more engagement and more reach. So there you have it. That was my 12 Instagram features you didn't know you could use to market your business, wrapped up in a like a little Christmas gift from me to you. I would really love to know which ones you already use and love, and which ones are brand new information. I just had, if you're like me, I just had Phoebe pop into my head from Friends then, because I can make everything a Friends reference. This is brand new information. If it was brand new information to you, come connect with me over on my socials and drop me a DM to let me know. Or like I said, just let me know which of these you already knew about and loved, because I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening to Show Up and Be Heard, but please don't go without telling me your name. I genuinely love meeting new people and making new connections. So if you don't already, I'd love it if you'd come find me on Instagram, LinkedIn or Facebook and drop me a message to say hello and let me know what you thought of the episode. The link to all my socials are in the show notes. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode or found it useful, then I'd really appreciate it if you could take just a few minutes to give it a review on whatever platform you are listening on, because everyone I get really does make me do a little squeal and a big happy dance. Finally, more than anything else, please always remember, realising that you're not actually meant to do this stuff alone is the first step to making it easier. So I'll see you next time.